What if I told you that the greatest competitor you'll ever face knows all your fears, all your excuses, and every promise you've ever broken? No, it's not the person with more money. It's not the person with more talent. It's not even the person who seems to be living your dream. It's you, or more specifically, the version of you that refuses to grow. We live in a world that constantly tells us to look sideways. Scroll through social media, and you'll find someone younger, making more money. Someone stronger, someone more attractive, someone who seems happier, someone who appears to have everything figured out. Without realizing it, you begin measuring your life against people whose journeys were never meant to be yours. And little by little, comparison becomes a habit, a dangerous one, because comparison doesn't just steal your happiness, it steals your identity. You stop asking, who am I becoming? And you start asking, why am I not like them? The ancient Stoics warned against this long before social media ever existed. They believed that peace comes from focusing on what is within your control. Your actions, your choices, your character. The moment your happiness depends on someone else's success or failure, you've handed them control over your inner peace, and that's a dangerous way to live. Imagine climbing a mountain. You've trained for months. You've pushed through exhaustion. You've made progress every single day. But halfway up, you notice another climber far above you. Suddenly something changes. The excitement disappears. The view no longer matters. Your own progress feels meaningless, not because you've stopped climbing, but because you've started comparing. Isn't that exactly what many of us do in life? We ignore how far we've come because someone else seems further ahead. We forget the battles we've already won because we're too busy watching someone else's race. But here's what comparison never shows you. It never shows the sacrifices, the failures, the lonely nights, the years of uncertainty. You compare your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. And that's a comparison you'll never win. Real growth has never been about outperforming another person. It's about outperforming the habits that once held you back. Did you become a little more patient? A little more disciplined? A little more honest? Did you choose action instead of excuses? Those victories may seem small, but philosophy reminds us that character is built through repeated actions, not dramatic moments. No one becomes wise overnight. No one becomes resilient in a single day. A meaningful life is built quietly, one decision at a time, one habit, one promise kept, one excuse abandoned. Those small victories eventually become the person everyone else calls successful. So what's the mindset that frees you from comparison? It's surprisingly simple. Stop asking, am I ahead of everyone else? Start asking, am I ahead of the person I was yesterday? Because yesterday's version of you is the only fair comparison. That version had your circumstances, your struggles, your opportunities, your fears. If today's version of you is kinder, more disciplined, more courageous, or simply more willing to keep going, then you're already winning. The mirror has always been a better teacher than the crowd. It doesn't ask whether you're richer than someone else. It asks whether you've been honest with yourself, whether you've kept your word, whether you've grown. The truth is, there will always be someone ahead of you, and there will always be someone looking at your life, wishing they had what you have. That's why comparison is a game with no finish line. But self-improvement, that journey has meaning every single day. So stop looking sideways. The life you want isn't hidden in someone else's success. It's waiting inside the choices you make when nobody is watching. Become just 1% better today than you were yesterday. Then do it again tomorrow. Because that's how extraordinary lives are built. Not through comparison, but through consistent transformation. And if this reflection gave you a new way to see yourself, subscribe and join me on this journey. This channel isn't about becoming better than everyone else. It's about becoming the strongest, wisest, and most authentic version of yourself. Because in the end, the only person you need to defeat is the person you no longer want to be.